Welcome into Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. My name is Madelyn Burke, joined by two-time Super Bowl champion Jonathan Casillas, Super Bowl champion Amani Toomer. Fellas, New York Giants went down to Dallas to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day, and not a successful trip for this Giants team, falling 28-20 to the Cowboys. Really a tough loss for this team.
Yeah, it was a tale of two halves. You know, the first half, the Giants started off really hot. They got the ball going really early. And then the second half is like they almost fell apart, you know. And it's tough to see, especially on a holiday like this when everybody's looking forward to the Giants playing. We're all looking forward to it. And they kind of laid an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not perform like they needed to win. I mean, they played well in the first half and stuck to the script. That's kind of how the Giants team wins. You win by playing very close to the vest, moving the ball control. But then the second half, when the Cowboys came out and had that long drive, it really slowed down the entire momentum for the Giants. And it just was one of those games where we couldn't get it going in the second half. It seems like all our energy and momentum stopped in the first half.
Well, you mentioned that long drive, too. Of course, Giants go into the locker room at halftime up 13-7. The Giants were the first to score in this game, getting that field goal to take a 3-0 lead. 13-7 at the half, though, but come out of the locker room. The Cowboys, as you mentioned, go on that long drive that takes almost 8 minutes off the clock. The defense is gassed. By the time the Giants offense gets on the field, you know, they get to the fourth down, they're 4th and 1, they go for it. But it turns out there were 10 men on the field on that 4th and 1 play. Saquon Barkley had a ball that almost hit his hand, but he didn't quite catch it. It was thrown a little bit low. Should have been thrown better, but also Saquon should have caught that a little bit closer. What do you make of that, the way that played out?
Well, when you go for it on 4th down like that, you want to execute, right? Number one, they had 10 men on the field. That means they're not executing. That's off rip. That's from the beginning of the play, before the play even starts, right? Daniel Jones, not a good pass. And he's a pretty accurate thrower. I think he's doing pretty good this year throwing the ball, but that was a throw I think he wants back. But Saquon, you're the best player on the team. The ball was catchable. It did hit his hands. You got to make that play. Even if it's a bad ball, you got to make that play. So once that happens, the team doesn't respond. I think after that, it went all downhill just from that play alone.
Yeah, because then you give the Dallas Cowboys the short field. They go in and score that touchdown, put them up, I think it was by 2 touchdowns or something like that. And you're right, Jonathan. You have to make that play if you're Saquon. If you're the guy, the second pick second pick of the draft, you're the guy that's supposed to be a franchise player. Franchise players make those type of plays. And this was, these last couple weeks for Saquon, and I don't know if it's because of all the carries or what, when he gets the ball, I don't see the explosion that I ordinarily see. And I don't know if the short week hurt him. Probably hurt him more than hurt other people because of his workload throughout the season. But I think Saquon needs to, for this team to make the playoffs, Saquon is going to have to step his game up. Not that he can't. We know he can, but he's going to have to make a bigger difference than he did today.
Well, speaking of Saquon, he was, of course, this team's workhorse. 2 weeks ago, he was leading the NFL in yards from scrimmage, but looking at his numbers today against the Cowboys, 11 rushes for 39 yards, 3.5 yards per rush average, adding 4 receptions for 13 yards, too. This defense was really keying in on Saquon Barkley. A defense, of course, is not the run defense is not the Cowboys' strongest suit. So what do you make of the way that they were able to lock in on Saquon today?
Well, number one, when you play the Giants, that's who you're focusing on is 26, And as a defensive coordinator, you got to know where he's at. You got to know when they like to get him the ball. You got to know how they like to get him the ball. I think the Cowboys did a good job in balling him up the whole game. But then Giants, look, he's the best player on the field when he's on the field, Give him the ball.
Yeah.
Force feed him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then see what happens, because Saquon's a guy that might get 1 yard here, 2 yards here, then he'll break one for 65. He still has that capability. He may not look how he did early in the season right now, or like when he got those 35 carries, but he's still capable to break a run. But you got to give him 20 to 25 carries a game to do something like that, especially on a team like this when they're harping on him early, and they're not really getting too much on the passing game. Force feed your guy. Force feed Saquon. I think they should have did that a little bit more.
Well, I'm curious, though, too, with the force-feeding point, because if you're force-feeding him and he's not getting yardage, he's getting negative yardage, we did see for a couple of plays there using him as a decoy, getting Gary Brightwell involved, getting Matt Breida involved a little bit, too. I mean, how do you choose when you're a coach how to balance that?
Well, you balance it to where when it's game time, you think of the player, then the play. So that 4th down was a great example of what I think you should do as a coordinator, like Mike Kafka. You got to make sure that if that 4th down play that they came up short on, you have to go to Saquon. And those are the types of plays that Saquon has to make. And I liked Mike Kafka's originally going out into trying to make him a decoy. But at some point in time, you got to pull the Band-Aid off and just say, hey, Saquon, you're our guy. We're going to ride or die with you.
You got to make that play.
Exactly.
You got to make these plays.
Yeah.
The plays that we go to you got to make them. And we fell short doing that, especially on that fourth down play.
Right. We've talked quite a bit about the offense so far, but the defense as well. Julian Love had a nice interception for this Giants defense. He's down on the field with our Paul Dottino in Dallas. Let's send it out there.
Julian, 13-7 at the half. And you guys are usually a second-half team, so how did you feel at halftime this game was going to go?
Yeah, we felt confident. We were feeling good. I think we just got to start faster, start the second half. That's really the story of this game.
They wound up with 3 consecutive touchdown drives in the third quarter and then early fourth. What went wrong defensively there?
You know, I think we were playing good. There's a lot of penalties down the field, which we got to tighten up, we got to clean up. And we just got to play complementary football. We got to get good field position on teams. We got to continue that on offense, continue that on defense, and just really secure up the second half because we played that way in the first half.
What can you learn from that first half? 2 interceptions, including one by yourself, and a 4th down stop.
We're a tough group. I mean, next guy up, guys are playing really lights out in the first half. And it shows a lot of who we are with a lot of guys down right now for us. And so we're going to be resilient. Guys got good experience out here. We're going to keep it going.
That's what I want to ask you. The depleted roster coming in. Yeah. You knew it was going to be tough, but the guys fought.
It's going to be tough, but, I mean, everybody in there is talented. That's why we have them in the building. And so we knew we had a shot. We knew we were going to play hard, play fast. And so we just got to shore up some things, but, you know, we let the game slip away.
Final question. First time you guys have lost 2 in a row this year. Yeah. Mentally, how difficult a hurdle is that to kind of overcome because you haven't faced that adversity yet?
Yeah, I mean, it could be tough if you're on the outside, but in the building, we just know we take it one game at a time. We correct this game, we're going to move forward. We're a resilient group, and we got a lot better from last game to this game. And so we got to keep it going.
Julian Love, thank you always for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That sound from Julian Love, brought to you by Ford. Love today had 6 tackles, 4 assists, 10 combined, and 1 interception, a huge interception for this Giants defense. And Giants fell to the Cowboys 28-20. All right, guests of our post-game show received a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. We've got plenty more to come here on Giants Post-Game Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. After the break, we're going to hear from head coach Brian Dable. That and much more as we recap Giants Cowboys. Stay with us.
What if you could own a moment? A moment when everything is on the line. I know the moment I'd want. Sunday, January 16th, the playoffs. We couldn't miss. That's a moment I'd like to own forever. Now you can too. Own the moments that matter. NFL All Day.
It's finally here. The Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event featuring the best offers of the year. Bring the extended family across all terrain. Haul the presents and even the tree. You've got the power to make spirits bright. Inventory is arriving daily, so come on in and let Ford help you slay that ride. Now, take immediate delivery of a 2022 Ford F-150 with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in to get our best deals of the season. Get in and get away.
Now, get 0% APR on 7 of our most popular models, or sign and drive one home today. Hurry in.
Hey guys, let's huddle up real quick. It's game time. How are we feeling?
I'm great. Feeling like money.
I'm focusing on these coverages, ready to make these picks.
Hey, a lot of football left, so let's give the people what they want. E, take us out.
Bring it up. Bet on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bet!
Breathe.
We are the machines. We are because we feel. When everything goes down, it is how we come around.
Giants fans fans, don't miss the second legacy game at MetLife Stadium on Sunday, December 4th. The team will be in their throwback uniforms from the 80s and 90s as they host the Washington Commanders. The stadium will be branded in throwback designs, including an exclusive collectible pennant for the first 30,000 fans in attendance. Limited tickets are available. Visit Giants.com/tickets to secure your seat today. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. The Giants fell to the Cowboys 28-20 down in Dallas. Before the break, we heard from Julian Love, who talked about just the significant amount of injuries that this Giants team is facing right now.
Yeah, the injuries are definitely a problem, but when you look at that game, I just don't want Julian to get misunderstood that he's trying to give excuses. It's not. Most people don't care. You have an opportunity to play on Thanksgiving. You have an opportunity to compete against a division rival. You should, just let it be. Just if you lose, it's fine. You don't have to give it something that might be perceived as an excuse. But that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I do think, though, too, I mean, from the standpoint of looking at this roster, right? Xavier McKinney out with that broken hand, Adoree Jackson with that sprained knee. Those are two big staples of that secondary right there. Just going down the line of the amount of injuries this team has, next man up is something we hear so frequently in this league. But when you're looking at a secondary full of guys who weren't even on the field when the season started in week 1, how tough is it to kind of play in that way?
Oh, it's extremely tough, especially when you're down to your fourth corner on the year, which is the Giants are. But like you said, it's the next man up mentality. That's how it always has to be in the NFL, because injuries happen, and they happen all the time. And look, they were pretty good early, especially defensively.
Right.
Every single catch from the Dallas Cowboys, maybe the tight end one wasn't. He was wide. Ferguson was wide open. But every catch that CeeDee Lamb had was contested.
Darnay
every
did a really good job on CeeDee.
Yeah, and he's a tough cover.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of film on him, watching back to Green Bay. He's breaking guys off left and right. So the Giants competed, but they didn't have enough. And the guy that I wanted to see more from, who's been a pillar for the Giants, is Dexter Lawrence. I didn't really hear his name called too much, especially in the passing game today.
Yeah, Leonard Williams as well. I would love to have seen those guys be more contributing, because we knew that this was going to be a game that, to stop the Dallas Cowboys run offense, they're going to have big games, and they didn't have the type of impact that we would expect them to have for the majority of games, especially down the stretch when they were having those long drives that consumed a lot of clock.
Yeah, we look at the rushing numbers here. Tony Pollard held to 60 yards, which is, not too shabby. 92 for Ezekiel Elliott and a touchdown. But one thing that stood out to me was the amount of times that we saw guys running up the middle, especially considering Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, who have usually been so stout in that space. Coming into a short week and the way that this team has been playing with everything going on, does that play into it? Does it just kind of wear and tear of the season? Or what did you make of that?
Well, this is the second game where the defensive line really didn't dominate like they had been during their first run of a good part of the season. So I think that's something that has to be addressed against the Commanders, against the the Eagles coming down the stretch. In these division games, you're going to have to stop the run, especially in NFC East as the weather starts to get bad. So this is something they're going to have to stop.
Absolutely. All right, let's send it down to Dallas now, where head coach Brian Daboll is speaking to the media.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Tough game. Give Dallas credit. Tough game.
Brian, on the 4th and 1, could you just explain the decision to go for it?
Yeah.
What you saw there when the ball looked like a catchable ball for Saquon?
Yeah, they kept the ball on the second half, went down and took a lot of clock off. Thought it was a good chance to go ahead and get the first down, but we didn't get it.
Where are you at 10 guys?
Yeah, can't happen.
What happened?
Can't happen.
Why did that happen?
What's that?
Do you have any idea why?
Yeah, I do. Just can't happen.
Did you think he should have caught that, or was that a pass behind him?
Yeah. Guys, we didn't convert it, so.
Brian, to this point, do you see the season kind of at a crossroads here?
No. I see us getting ready to play Washington.
You seem a little more upset than even some of the past losses. What about this loss is hitting you hard here?
Every loss hurts.
You seem a little more frustrated today, though. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think we missed some opportunities. We've got to do a better job. Starts with me.
What did you see on the
first touchdown that got negated for being eligible downfield?
You got to ask the officials.
There was a couple passes where Daniel just seemed to be off today on short passes. Was there anything there that you saw? Was there any reason you saw for that?
No.
Right. A few of your defensive guys are cramping in the second half. What happened there? Why was that going on?
They were cramping. I don't know. You got a cramp.
Ryan, it's another game where you guys are in it, obviously, and yet Saquon, you just can't get him going. And you know, why is that, and how much of a strain does that put on everything else?
Yeah, we didn't get a whole lot going. You know, I don't know what we averaged, 3.5 yards or something like that. You know, I thought Mike had a good plan coming out the way he did, getting Daniel on the move a little bit, trying to loosen him up, but never really got anything going, not getting explosives. I mean, Gary had a couple there towards the end, but certainly got to clean that up.
Was Daniel keeping it on boots and things like that really not a part of what was going on tonight? Because he didn't do it.
Keeping it?
Yeah, Daniel.
Well, no, he had pass options, so he ended up throwing them. Yeah. No, he ran zone reads, boots. We just didn't do enough.
Your secondary had a good first half. What was the difference between the first half and the second half?
Yeah, I mean, they made some plays. That team's got a lot of good receivers, and they made some good plays. And I think that, you know, we were trying to mix it up and double certain guys, and you know, give them credit. They made some good plays. Our guys competed, I thought. They just made some plays.
How much do you think you missed Adoree for that CeeDee Lamb matchup?
Well, certainly he's a good player. Yeah, so I think you miss all your good players that aren't out there. But I thought the guys competed that were in there. You know, it was a tough game. You know, we started out, I thought it was a good first half, and we just didn't get much going in the second half. And then they had the long drive. We didn't convert on the fourth down. They ended up getting some more. So guys competed. We just didn't do enough.
Right, how tough of a week was this for Andrew Thomas? I mean, he was dealing with some.
Yeah, no, he wasn't feeling good. I'd say he was, you know, fighting through it today too. So, again, give those guys a lot of credit that push through things, and I certainly do.
Brian, what's your confidence level that you guys can get this thing back on track?
Yeah, just come back, do the same stuff we always do each week. Get ready to play a game. Take some rest. It's been a tough 12 days. Obviously, you haven't got the results that we were looking for, but I think we got to just, you know, get a little bit of rest. Mental recovery, physical recovery, come back on Monday and get ready to play another division game. You know, they don't get any easier. Each week is tough, and, you know, we'll stick with, you know, our practice, our preparation, all the things that we need to do to try to go ahead and give us an opportunity to win a game. But again, it's ebbs and flows of a season.
In the run game,
yeah.
Are there things you think Saquon can be doing better, or do you think the opportunities aren't there in front of him?
I'd say, Pat, with the run game, everybody needs to do better. You know, it's not always going to be clean. There's going to be some ones, some twos. You know, we've been missing some bigger plays that usually help in the run game. We just haven't popped through there, or, you know, the blocking, the running, the design. We got to do a better job all the way around, I'd say, with the run game. You know, coaching it, executing it. I'd say we got to improve. I mean, we got a lot to improve, obviously. That's certainly one of them.
You went into the game deciding you threw a lot early. Why was that your game plan, and did you expect to then, you know, be able to, you know, kind of get the run game going after? Like,
yeah, we try to move it a little bit for him and be productive on first downs. Change the launch point, do some stuff to their defensive line is hard to block. So, you know, some of those were almost like runs, if you will, just perimeter runs, you know, like the first play of Cager and sliders and things like that. You know, and as we were going in the first half, even in the third quarter, we weren't getting a whole lot from it. You know, we were, you know, I'd say Mike was sticking it in there and trying to mix it in there. We just weren't getting to sit in third and long. I don't know what all our third downs were, but, you know, we were like 3 of 11 or something on third down. And the longers, I'd say 6+ against this team is a very challenging down. Obviously, we didn't do enough.
Brian, do you think the first half of the season took a physical toll on Saquon? Is that anything as part of the situation?
No, No, look, Saquon's out there running hard, trying to do everything he can do. It's just we got to do a better job collectively.
When we talked to you on Tuesday, you were really uncertain as to which guys you were going to have ready to go today, who you were going to have to rule out, and I would imagine that affected the game plan a little bit. At what point did you have to just say, okay, here's where we're at, and this is how we're going to build our game plan, and if the guys aren't ready, they're just not ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, we put the best game plan we could together, and, there was definitely a possibility, and like I said, we were going to go all the way up until the end, but there was possibility that there was going to be guys that were missing. So I'd say, those guys did a good job throughout the week of, it's only a few days. And on short weeks, you don't do a ton of stuff because you just don't have much time to practice it. So I just think that's the nature of it on a short week.
The 3rd and 9 at the start of the fourth quarter, were you looking for a shorter completion to set up 4-down territory there?
You'd have to remind me which one that was.
3rd and 9, Saquon was short. All the other routes were downfield, and I think Daniel ended up being flushed and throwing to Saquon.
I would say there was a few times in there where we knew we were in 4-down territory. So, there's an element of having something short. If we need it, we'll go for it on 4th down. Try to make it instead of a 4th and 9, a 4th and 4, a 4th and 3, with the opportunity to still get it. I'd say that happened a few times, kind of towards the end of the game.
Why did you choose to, when you went for that 4th down,
yeah,
Saquon drop, why did you choose to go for that as opposed to punting?
I just thought we needed to change a little bit of momentum after the second half was going. They went down and scored. I thought Mike had a good play, ready to go. We had an opportunity on it, but I just I thought it was the right thing to do.
With the guys you left at home, and any of those injuries, long term, particularly Shane, anybody that is more than just
the ones that were out.
Yeah.
I'd say, Dan, I don't probably not. I'd say probably not.
All right.
Okay, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Okay. Sorry.
That sound from head coach Brian Daboll, brought to you by Ford. The Giants fall to 7-4 after a loss in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. We've got plenty more to come here on the show. We continue to break down this one, that and much more sound from players in Dallas. But first, the New York Giants official mobile app is your destination for all things New York Giants. The updated mobile app includes the best Giants highlights, news, videos, photos, and podcasts, available for free for Apple and Android phones and tablets. Stay with us. We've got much more Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day, after this quick break.
It's said we make 35,000 decisions a day. That's a lot to keep track of. But with the right insights from citizens, the money decisions feel easier.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 brand in dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Get 2.9% APR for 48 months plus 500 trade assist cash in the new 2023 Forte.
Every day, nearly 2 million customers across New Jersey rely on PSE&G to provide natural gas. And every day, PSE&G is committed to doing it safely. That includes making sure you know what to do if you smell gas. A natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. If you suspect a gas leak, leave your home immediately. Get far away, then call 911. Remember, smell, leave, call. Protect the ones you love. Learn more at pseg.com/gas safety.
Dominate Black Friday with a special offer of NBA League Pass on DirecTV. Catch the action with up to 40 out-of-market games a week. Extraordinary plays. Colossal dunks. Your favorite players and teams. Stream on your favorite devices. And run the floor with even more coverage from NBA TV and videos on demand. Amazing! Watch up to 8 games on one screen. Get our Black Friday special offer when you order NBA League Pass today on DirecTV.
In 6 months, people will be looking for the next Ferrari. What they will find is the first Lamborghini. Why are we here? To make a car. To make the best car.
Lamborghini is too uneducated to understand what he doesn't know.
You buy a Ferrari when you want to be someone. You buy a Lamborghini when you are someone.
Welcome back. Time now for our scoring drive of the game, presented by HCL Tech, supercharging progress, the official digital transformation partner of the New York Giants. For the scoring drive of the game, we take you to the second quarter. 9 plays, 75 yards, took 5 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock, finished with a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Saquon Barkley. Of course, the play before this, a huge 44-yard bomb from Daniel Jones to Darius Slayton to set that one up. This gave the Giants a 10-7 lead in the second quarter. That's the scoring drive of the game, brought to you by HCL Tech. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, presented by NFL All Day. Madelyn Burke, Jonathan Casillas, and Amani Toomer here breaking this one down. Guys, tough loss for the Giants. Always a tough one when it's a divisional opponent as well. But one of the stats that really sticks out, a glaring one, is this third down. Brian Daboll, we heard mention it in his press conference as well. Giants just 3 for 11 on third down conversion.
And they couldn't stop Dallas on their third downs at all. Like, they left 88 by himself the whole game. You know, by himself. He was catching passes on Darnay Holmes by himself the whole entire game. And I don't think that's fair for Darnay Holmes. CeeDee Lamb is a tremendous receiver, and we've seen him week in and week out beating guys on single coverage every single game. So why you leave him by himself consistently? And he's getting beat. It's not like, oh, he's doing a good job. He's not doing a good job. He wasn't holding up. He wasn't holding up, you know, and like double him, please. Please, Wink. And I love Wink, and I love the plays that he has, but it's like maybe for this game, maybe you do a little different wrinkle on third down to give your guy a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah, but the problem is they don't have that big of a pass rush as well. So, you know, the Giants are the team that has the most, we blitz the most at any team. When you blitz, you leave your secondary open. You just hope that you get to the quarterback, and this is what happens. But yeah, Darnay, he struggled a little bit today, but he was there. You know what I mean? There was some holding, the one holding penalty that kind of let that one drive go for a long time. I really didn't see the hold for Darnay, but I feel like the defense really, I think they gave it all they could.
Yeah, penalties also another big point of emphasis here. Giants only had 7 penalties, but it felt like a lot more, especially some of them which were pretty significant.
They were mostly on third down. Like they were mostly the penalties that weren't. I mean, Cowboys had more penalties, but our penalty, the Giants' penalties were all on third down, and those kept the drive alive, which compounded on the fact that, you know, the Giants lost the time of possession battle, and that's kind of why this team wasn't, why Saquon wasn't able to get the amount of carries, and why the Giants' offense seemed to be stagnant at times.
The penalty early on the Hodgins touchdown. That called the touchdown back. The Giants started off real fast, and that called it back. And look, you can't miss plays like that. When you play a team like Dallas, you can't miss plays like that. You need every single touchdown to count and stand. You can't have them things called back, and it's just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, when you're the underdog, you have to play perfect football. The Giants did not play perfect football in the penalty department. They did play perfect football and not turning the ball over, but that just wasn't good enough for today.
Not turning the ball over in the traditional sense, of course. They got 2 takeaways with those 2 interceptions. Rodarius Williams with 1, Julian Love with another, but they did turn the ball over on down. Something else that Brian Daboll was asked about in his media availability, talking about Saquon Barkley on that 4th down play. But before we get into breaking that one down, Saquon Barkley is speaking in the locker room right now, so let's send it down to Dallas.
Kicked off with us. He apologized for being that angry. Did you sense that from him in here?
He's a competitor. He's a head coach. Just like all of us, we hate losing. So.
Does this one feel a little different than the other ones? Maybe it's because the Cowboys the second to him?
No, every time you lose, Phil, it sucks. You get that nasty feeling in your stomach, that pit in your stomach, especially when, there's a lot of things you can go back and if you change it, you can change the outcome of the game. But hey, you gotta give hats off to them. They were the better team today, and we gotta take this time to get ready for Washington.
Basically, just touchdowns. That would feel like you guys left a lot out there, a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, for instance, like one that sticks to my mind is a 4-for-1. If I make that play, keep the drive going. It's just simple like that. Little things like that can change the dynamic of the game. And I view myself as a dynamic player, a type player I want to be. And I got to be for this team, and I got to be better.
What do you think you could do different on that side when you go over it in your head?
Make the catch.
That's it?
Yeah.
That sound from Saquon Barkley brought to you by Ford. We're going to continue to break this one down after the break as we recap the Giants' loss to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. But first, are you ready to take your team to the next level? NFL All Day is the ultimate new way to showcase your Giants fandom, built for the digital world. Collect your favorite moments from stars like Saquon Barkley and use them to compete for epic fan prizes. Try it out today on NFLAllDay.com. Much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. We'll be back with more after this quick timeout.
Everyone loves an underdog story. You know why? Because it fills you with hope, makes you believe, right? Hold on now. Did you say any team? So now I can bet the overdog for underdog odds? Team Overdog, where you at? Let me hear you.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet just $5 to win $200 if your team wins. Action's so good, why bet NFL anywhere else?
Comfort is for every room in your home and everyone. When you take steps to improve your energy efficiency, you can enjoy all your favorite spaces just a little bit more. A home energy assessment is a great place to start. PSCNG offers expert advice to identify energy-saving opportunities in every room, and we'll help you pick the home energy assessment that's right for you. That's relaxation just the way you like it. Brought to you by PSCNG.
I've got cancer. We've got the highest level of cancer care.
The latest clinical trials. Researchers working to find a cure.
And nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
RWJ Barnabas Health and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
Confidence can take you to new places, where roads become a personal opportunity to experience the beauty of what's ahead, no matter what destination you choose next. Explore confidently in the Genesis GV80. During the Genesis year-end event, receive a $1,000 holiday bonus only at your tri-state Genesis retailer.
Daniel, why did the second half go so much differently than the first, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a lot of reasons. I think we weren't good enough on third down. Obviously, that was a huge part of it. We got to convert more of those. I think we were 2 for 10 on the game, so got to get better there and got to be able to convert third downs as sustained drives. So I think that was part of it.
What happened on the fourth down, the 4th and 1?
Just a bad throw. I got to get it out in front of them, and bad throw. Can't miss that.
Seemed like you guys were very imbalanced early on, pass to run. Was that part of the game plan, or is it just what Dallas gave you? Have a lot more passes, getting the running game going.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of how it worked out, how the game played itself out, and saw some opportunities in the past game, some opportunities to move the pocket and find guys. So that's what we did, but got to find a couple more plays in there.
Why has the run game struggled to get going the last 2 weeks compared to how it's been rolling most of the season for you guys?
I don't know. I think we got to watch the tape and see exactly what they did defensively, what their plan was going in. I think we'll have a better idea, but you got to give credit to them. They're a good front, they're a good defense, and they did a good job.
How did the offensive line do today? You guys were obviously missing a lot of starters.
I thought they played well. I thought the guys who stepped in did a really good job, and I thought they played hard, played really well against a good front.
Did you think that was what did you think of the call in the first quarter when you hit Hodgins for the touchdown? They called a legal man downfield. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it on film, but obviously a tough call for us. Go back and look at it. Yeah, I think you want to be in those situations. You want to have the opportunity to convert those and make the play. So we got to do a better job executing that, and I got to do a better job executing it.
Daniel, Dable was as angry at the start of his press conference today as he has been after any loss this season. Do you think this one hits different or harder? Does the team feel it the way he seemed to be feeling it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think it is a tough loss. It's a divisional game and a game where we didn't play our best. So that's always disappointing. And like I said, you got to give credit to Dallas. They're a good team, but we didn't do what we needed to do to win the game. So that was the difference. And yeah, it's frustrating for all of us.
All that said,
That sound from Daniel Jones brought to you by Ford. DJ had 21 of 35 completed passes for 228 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions. He added 3 rushing attempts for 14 yards as well. And I really respect the accountability as a leader, as a quarterback, as a captain of this team. Saying, you know what, there's always something I could have done more. But, JC, what do you make of what we've seen from Daniel Jones?
Well, look, he's not turning the ball over. I think that's number one, especially with him specifically. I think we had a lot of questions about his decision-making coming in this year. No questions no more about his decision-making. I think he kind of settled that down. And look, he's making plays. I think he's a pretty accurate quarterback. And then look, the accountability that he just took on that throw. It wasn't a good pass. Right. He said that. We can respect that. Mm-hmm. As people, as fans of the New York Giants, we can respect that. We're not going to talk about the other team, no accountability that way. But that's why we love Daniel Jones. And look, we have a lot of confidence in him. And I'm talking about we as fans of the New York Giants. We have a lot of confidence in I think he's doing a pretty solid job, and I think other guys around him have to step up and make some big contested catches, or maybe if the ball's not put in the right place, go ahead and make that catch.
Mm-hmm. I think when you look at Daniel Jones, you think about who he's doing it with, right? He's doing it with receivers that are kind of journeymen. Now you're in the situation, he's not throwing the ball to giving the turnovers. What if you surround him with guys that can actually make some plays consistently? We've had some plays.
Saying we're not the pick-me team right here. We're confident in the Giants.
I'm saying there is a free agent out there that we've heard about.
I mean,
might have used to play for the Giants.
I think that this will be an interesting, the schedule gets pretty tough right now. This getting into the meaty divisional part of the Giants' schedule. So a lot of tough games. They've got, a long week ahead of them before they get back on the field. We're going to continue to break this one down, though. We're going to send it to break and head back here with more Giants Postgame Live brought to you by NFL All Day. But first, the Giants' official connected TV streaming app, Giants TV, brings original video content and game highlights on demand and direct to Big Blue fans. Giants TV is free on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and the Giants mobile app. Stay with us. Amani Toomer, Jonathan Casillas, and Madelyn Burke continue to break down Giants Cowboys after this break.
What if you could own a moment? A moment when everything is on the line. I know the moment I'd want. Sunday, January 16th, the playoffs. We couldn't miss. That's a moment I'd like to own forever. Now you can too. Own the moments that matter. NFL All Day.
Each year, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital works to improve the lives of kids and their families around the world. And this holiday season, Kia wants to help. We're continuing our tradition of helping others by expanding Kia's Accelerate the Good partnership with St. Jude and making a donation for every new car purchased during the holidays. Join us and help celebrate Kia's season of giving back. Kia, movement that inspires.
It's said we make 35,000 decisions a day. That's a lot to keep track of. But with the right insights from citizens, the money decisions feel easier.
We believe there's an innovator in all of us. That's why we build technology that makes it possible for every business and every person to come to the table and do more incredible things.
It was a fun game to watch.
So much momentum coming into this game. The Giants were feeling it, and a spirited performance by the defense.
They played every single quarter.
They ran the ball well today. Were able to control that clock.
Down the left sideline to the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley.
What a final play, but also what a game, what a win.
It's not because they have great pieces individually. It's how they work well together.
Here or there, live or on the go, day or night, spin the reels or just chill. Hard Rock Atlantic City is everywhere. Take me to Hard Rock Online Casino and Sportsbook. Get 50 free spins and up to $1,000 bonus match. Download now.
Hey, Giants fans, check out the Coach Dable Show presented by Stop and Shop. We'll look back on today's game and look ahead at next week's matchup. It's the Coach Dable Show, airing every week on MSG Networks and the Giants' social media platforms. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. The Giants fell to the Cowboys 28-20. Let's send it down to Dallas, where Darnay Holmes is speaking in the locker room.
Yeah, since college, it's always been great. Competitive battle for me and him. He's a great player. I'm a great player, and at the end of the day, that's the way it goes. You got to charge certain things to the game, and each and every year, I always be excited for that battle. I'm never going to turn down that head up, and that's just what it is.
There's some things you could have done better on a few of those, some of the PIs and stuff that maybe turn. I don't know. What do you think when you think just on first glance?
I'm just going to watch the film and see what it was. At the end of the day, the refs call what they call. You got to just deal with it.
At this point, it kind of feels like your guys' season's at a crossroads. 6 games left, 7-4. Teams are closing in on you. What's your confidence level you guys can get this thing back on track?
At the end of the day, we even killed, so we got to go back to the lab, figure out the things that didn't work, and lean upon the things that do work.
Darnay, how hard is it not to get frustrated when you've got good coverage, and then he throws a dart, and the receiver makes fingertip grab time after time?
At the end of the day, they're professionals too, so you got to take that mindset of certain things you can't get mad about. Certain things can't waver your confidence or your belief in yourself, and that's just what it was today.
The DPI call kind of test you on that a little bit?
I wouldn't say that. At the end of the day, I know what's right. The ref called what he called, and probably optics of things, probably what he saw, but at the end of the day, he gets paid to call calls, and that's just what it was.
How tough is it, not having a Dory in a game like this?
At the end of the day, it's always tough when you don't have guys who are key contributors to the defense. When he was a great mentor on the sideline, he was a great help this week in prep, and at the end of the day, those who came to fulfill his shoes, I feel like they stepped up, and at the end of the day, we just came up short.
You guys have had a tough stretch here, coming out of the bye. So how much do you need this little bit of extra time to regroup, settle in, get a home game? How important was that stretch here coming up to kind of mentally recharge?
Yeah, I feel like the stretch started when we played Dallas. Division games are the most sought-out games, the games that weigh the most, and at the end of the day, we ready for the next opponent. We got to let this one go, 24-hour rule, go back to the lab, as I said before, and just craft upon the things that we couldn't execute on and lean upon the things we did execute on. And at the end of the day, it's a great team across the way, and that's just what it was today.
Thanks, Tony.
That sound from Giants corner Darnay Holmes, brought to you by Ford. Holmes had 2 tackles today, 2 passes deflected. A tough assignment for Darnay on CeeDee Lamb most of this game. But you know what? I do respect that he didn't allow a lot of yak. You know, he was there. And I think, you know, one thing that really stands out to me is watching him in his media availabilities. JC, you were kind of highlighting how much you like the way he answers these questions.
Yeah, it's like the sense of accountability. You know, I think you see that from a lot of the guys on this Giants team, and you see that. So I think there's room for improvement there when you have that sense of accountability. Yeah, Dory Jackson's not there. Yeah, we're missing him big time. But we got to do it. The guys that's here have to play. And that's what he did. He competed. No help for him on 3rd down, which I don't think was a great decision for the Giants to do, but he competed every play. Not too much yards after catch. CeeDee Lamb's good, right? He said he's good too, and he showed that.
I like that.
He showed that.
I like when he said that because he's just like, yeah, he's great, but I'm great too.
Yes.
And that's a classic corner. Like, corners aren't based in reality. They can get beat 5 times, and they still have to have that swagger because they're constantly getting beat. I like the thing about Darnay, he made CeeDee Lamb make some of those one-handed catches because he was right there in his hip pocket. So it's not like he was, you know, the CeeDee was just running and free up in the secondary. Darnay was there. He didn't make the play. Maybe, you know, as he gets older and he gets a little more experience, maybe he'll get, you know, be closer on him and be able to play the ball a little bit better. But you can work with that attitude. He didn't seem down. He didn't seem shaken at all.
Right. We saw some great plays being made on defense today. It wasn't enough to get the win, but it was enough to kind of move the needle a little bit, get some momentum at times. You know, Kayvon Thibodeau was making some noise. Jalen Smith's making some noise as well. We're going to continue to break this down after the break. Stay with us here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. We've got plenty more to come here on the program after this quick timeout. We'll be back with more, but first, follow the Giants on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube for all the latest team coverage, breaking news, and content. Check out all the Giants follows right here on your screen. We'll be back with more after this.
Everyone loves an underdog story. You know why? Because it fills you with hope, makes you believe, right? Hold on now. Did you say any team? So now I can bet the overdog for underdog odds? Team Overdog, where you at? Let me hear you.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet just $5 to win $200 if your team wins. Action's so good, why bet NFL anywhere else?
It's finally here. The Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event featuring the best offers of the year. Bring the extended family across all terrain. Haul the presents and even the tree. You've got the power to make spirits bright. Inventory is arriving daily, so come on in and let Ford help you slay that ride. Now, take immediate delivery of a 2022 Ford F-150 with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
Yo.
Ticket to Paradise is coming home.
So proud.
I am the most proud.
You're the loudest.
Watch now.
Make sure I'm a long way from her.
A very long way, please.
And see George and Julia.
Oh, I didn't want to high-five.
Okay. Oh, don't high-five me.
Crank up the charm. Back together again.
I'm so embarrassed.
Ticket to Paradise.
COVID-19 variants are still around. It's a good thing there are new boosters targeted to take them out. The new bivalent boosters are here. Bullseye. Everyone 5 and older should get boosted today. To learn more, visit nyc.gov/vaccine finder or call 877-VAX4NYC.
Hey Giants fans, check out the Eli Manning Show presented by Panini Prism Trading Cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the Giants YouTube channel to catch all of the new episodes. It's the Eli Manning Show every Thursday on the Giants YouTube channel. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. The Giants went down to Dallas, fell to the Cowboys 28-20 on Thanksgiving Day. Let's send it down to the locker room where Jihad Ward is addressing the media.
You lost 2 straight, but in 3 or 4, but you're still 7 and 4. What kind of position do you think you're in for the playoffs at this point?
I'm just trying to win it all. I'm just trying to win it all. I don't care about the
the records. I don't care what the stats and all that stuff. I'm just trying to win it all. I don't care about none of that stuff. So I'm just trying to win, man, for real.
You said you know, aware with injury reports, but did you guys have to do anything differently, just schematically, not having Adoree, not having Fabian? Like, did you guys change anything?
No, not really, to be honest with you. I don't think we changed anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was just a next man up mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of the guys that was, that was inactive. They came, they stepped up. They did a hell of a job, man, for real. I can't thank these guys enough, so.
That sound from Jihad Ward brought to you by Ford as we take a look at his numbers today. He had 1 tackle and 1 quarterback hit, but he is one of the most enthusiastic guys on this Giants defense. He's really a glue guy in this locker room, as we can tell by the brightness of the hood of his jacket. He's got a very bright personality and somebody that we love to be around. But speaking about this Giants defense as a whole, we teased this a little bit too, but the play that we saw from Kayvon Thibodeau, the rookie today, he got banged up a little bit, was able to power through that play. Also Jalen Smith. I mean, what stood out from you as a defensive player?
Well, I watched the linebackers the whole game, obviously. So I've been watching Jalen a lot, especially the last few weeks, that he's been in there. And I like to see him improve play, and that's what he did today. I feel like he had a pretty good game today. He was dead on, but when you play your old team, you're kind of locked in like that sometimes.
Just a little extra.
And Kayvon Thibodeau, he's not getting sacks, but he's getting to the quarterback. He had 5 quarterback hits, which is a tremendous job. But the Giants need sacks.
Right.
The Giants need to get the quarterbacks on the ground. That's why Dak Prescott was over 60% on 3rd down today. That's why CeeDee Lamb was by himself on all those 3rd downs with Darnay Holmes covering because he got a lot of time, and they're not getting the quarterback down on the ground.
Right, the Giants had 0 sacks today, which was a tough one, too. But to your point, Kayvon Thibodeau, even if he's getting to the quarterback, making those quarterback hits, there's a lot of plays, too, where he's around it, the almost guy in that, and that's kind of helpful.
Yeah, there's a quarterback pressure. He actually forced a holding penalty on against him. And I just think they try to manufacture pressure with the blitzes that Wink Martindale does. Man, if Kayvon Thibodeau can start putting more pressure up more consistently, maybe they can scale that back and they'll help some of the defensive players. So I think the Giants' defensive line is waiting for that guy on the outside to be able to create pressure without the blitz.
I'm just counting here, too, because looking at the way that, defensively they had a lot of pressure, they had a lot of things going offensively, too. Once again, another game in which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different guys got a pass. That's something else that stands out to me, too, the way that the offense has been kind of spreading it around. Earlier in the season, it seemed like they were playing a little bit more complementary football, but it's been a tough one.
They're getting the ball to different players. I think Daniel Jones is doing a good job at mixing it up. Kafka's doing a good job at mixing the play call up. But you have no guy that's threatening you, no guy that scares you down the field. As a defender, you always look at the roster and be like, okay, who scares me? Even though Slayton's a big play guy, he doesn't scare people. I don't think he does.
He's not consistent enough.
Definitely not consistent enough. And he doesn't go down the field enough. Not enough deep balls downfield. Once a game is not it. And I think he might average 1 a game, if a target, that is, just 1 a game. He needs multiple targets down the field. This offense needed to spread this ball out since the beginning of the season to open up for not only just the running game, but for the underneath passing game as well, which I think Daniel Jones thrives in.
Yeah, well, too, as a receiver, too, you want to see them air it out. They tried a couple of times. They had that 1 bomb, that 44-yarder to Darius Slayton. But, there's a lot that goes into it, right? The offensive line's pass protection, the receivers. What do you make about the reason that they haven't been airing it out? Because we can see that Daniel Jones does have the arm ability.
I think they were so concerned about the rush that they only gave up 2 sacks, but you see Daniel Jones moving around. You see him doing all this stuff. That doesn't really bode well for consistency and pass accuracy. Quarterbacks want to be in their spot. They want to be able to throw. But you got to look at it also as what player are you going to throw the ball to in a situation where the game's on the line, besides Saquon Barkley.
Right.
So that's something that needs to be addressed this offseason, or somehow somebody got to step up for the rest of this season for this team to be legitimate, because Saquon Barkley can't be the leading receiver, he can't be the leading rusher, he can't be everything if you want him to last for a long time in this league. So when I look at this receiving core, I just see a opportunity for a guy like Slayton to really stamp his name on this offense by being that consistent guy. He's close, a lot closer than he was but he's not where he needs to be.
Yeah. We take a look, too, here at the receivers tonight against the Cowboys. The three leading receivers, Darius Slayton, of course, Richie James, who got a touchdown in the end of this game, and Hodgins as well. But you know what? He's been making some plays too. He's been really earning that roster spot. But we're going to continue to break this one down after the break. Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day, continues after this break. Giants third in the division at 7-4, but we'll continue to chat about this one. Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day, the ultimate new way to showcase your Giants fandom. Try it out today on NFLAllDay.com.
By the time this Giants fan is finished drinking his Pepsi, you'll be 15 seconds closer to game time. Giants watching. Better with Pepsi.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 brand in dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Get 2.9% APR for 48 months plus 500 trade assist cash on a new 2023 Forte.
Comfort is for every room in your home and everyone. When you take steps to improve your energy efficiency, you can enjoy all your favorite spaces just a little bit more. A home energy assessment is a great place to start. PSC&G offers expert advice to identify energy-saving opportunities in every room, and we'll help you pick the home energy assessment that's right for you. That's relaxation just the way you like it. Brought to you by PSC&G.
We believe there's an innovator in all of us. That's why we build technology that makes it possible for every business and every person to come to the table and do more incredible things.
By the time this Giants fan is finished drinking his Pepsi, you'll be 15 seconds closer to game time. Giants watching. Better with Pepsi.
RWJ Barnabas Health has a passion for heart health with the most comprehensive services, including the state's largest adult and pediatric cardiac surgery programs, a heart transplant program that's top 10 nationally, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. RWJ Barnabas Health.
What's up, guys? I'm Kiana Martin.
Shaw Little here. Eric Coleman here, 9-year NFL vet.
Your new host of Odds Within.
You got to give up or take the points all day. Come on, you know I like to make those hard picks just like I made those hard hits.
My father came home, and his first question to me is, what in the world are you doing?
Every 2 years, you go down there, baking in the sun. It's really satisfying once it's done.
It's a special bond. I don't know how many other dads can share these type of moments.
Giants are headed back to MetLife Stadium for a Week 13 matchup with the Washington Commanders next week. After falling to the Cowboys this week, they've got a long week right here, Sunday, December 4th at 1 p.m., another divisional game. Taylor Heineke at quarterback. I know you're a big fan of what you've seen from him.
Yeah, the guy plays good football, like he's the only winning quarterback for the Commanders or the Washington football team or the Redskins or whatever team you want to name. He's the only one that could actually win games over there. And he gives the Giants a hard time, too, every time they play him.
Yeah, Giants have seen him a couple times.
They got 2 more games against the Commanders, and they're surging, and we're kind of leveling out. So this is going to be a great way to get right back on the horse by beating a team that's a lot of people are starting to respect now.
Yeah, 2 of the next 3 games are against the Commanders. Play the Commanders at home next week, then the Philadelphia Eagles, then the Commanders once again. Then we got the Eagles, the last game of the season. Division stretch is getting spicy right here. How are you feeling about this? 7-4, sitting in 3rd right now.
we got to win a couple more games before this can go south quickly.
Right. It could be rough, but the thing is the Giants have their season in their hands.
Absolutely.
If they can win these games, they can get in there.
It's not over, but our show is. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Amani Toomer, Jonathan Casillas, Madelyn Burke here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by NFL All Day. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.